Good evening, friends. Let's begin our conversation. The floor is open. Okay, Uma.
उमा शंकर सिंह, इंडिपेंडेंट जर्नलिस्ट। राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप की तरफ से जो बयान आया है उस पर एक विदेश मंत्रालय की तरफ से प्रतिक्रिया आई है, वो हम सब ने देखा है। लेकिन हम ये जानना चाहते हैं कि क्या रूस से तेल खरीद रोकने को लेकर किसी तरह का आश्वासन भारत की तरफ से या प्रधानमंत्री मोदी की तरफ से दिया गया है? क्या दोनों के बीच कोई टेलीफोन पे बातचीत हुई है, या ये दावा जो है ट्रंप की तरफ से वो बिना आधार का है?
सिद्धांत।
I don't have a question on US, but I have a question on what's happening at the border between Afghanistan and Pakistan. We have seen what has happened. Obviously, the regional situation remains very volatile. What's India's view on the conflict which is happening?
Sahil.
Sir, I'm Sahil Pandey from ANI News Agency. Is there any decision on when the Indian mission in Afghanistan will be upgraded to full-fledged embassy? Thank you.
इधर भी कर लेते हैं, येशी।
This is Yeshi Seri from Business India. Was there any talk about recognizing Taliban as a form of government? And also, this is a second question on Myanmar. Is India planning to send any team as an observer for the upcoming elections which begin in December? And is PM Modi planning to go for ASEAN?
Sumita.
So I have two questions. Number one is related to the visit of Prime Minister Keir Starmer here. As you'd know that the JETCO, the TOR for JETCO was signed, but was there an indication on when the India-UK FTA will come into effect? And so secondly, how are you viewing diplomatically China's action, the fact that it has filed a complaint at the WTO against India's subsidies in EVs and batteries?
Okay, so first, उमाशंकर, आपका सवाल देखिए, जहाँ तक जो अमेरिका से जो टिप्पणी आया ऊर्जा को लेके, उस पर हम लोगों ने अपनी एक प्रेस विज्ञप्ति, एक स्टेटमेंट जारी किया है। तो मैं आपसे कहूँगा कि जो हम लोगों ने स्टेटमेंट आज सवेरे आप लोगों के सामने रखा है, उस पर आप नज़र डालिए। जहाँ तक टेलीफोन की बात है, तो उसमें मैं ये कह सकता हूँ कि मेरी जानकारी के हिसाब से प्रधानमंत्री और राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप के बीच में कोई बातचीत नहीं हुई कल। See, on the issue of energy sourcing, we have made a statement. This was put out in the morning today. We would request you to look at that particular statement for the questions that you have. On the question of whether there was a conversation or a telephone call between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump, I am not aware of any conversation yesterday between the two leaders. Siddhant, sorry. Yeah. Your question and the developments that are happening on the Afghanistan-Pakistan border. We are closely monitoring the situation. Three things are clear. One, that Pakistan hosts terrorist organizations and sponsors terrorist activities. Two, it is an old practice of Pakistan to blame its neighbors for its own internal failures. And three, Pakistan is infuriated with Afghanistan exercising sovereignty over its own territories. India remains fully committed to the sovereignty, territorial integrity, and independence of Afghanistan. हिंदी में मैं दोहरा देता हूँ इस बात को। हम स्थिति पर कड़ी नज़र रखे हुए हैं। तीन बातें स्पष्ट हैं। पहली, पाकिस्तान आतंकवादी संगठनों को पनाह देता है और आतंकवादी गतिविधियों को प्रायोजित यानी कि स्पॉन्सर करता है। दूसरी, अपनी आंतरिक विफलता के लिए अपने पड़ोसियों को दोषी देना पाकिस्तान की पुरानी आदत है। और तीसरी, पाकिस्तान अफ़गानिस्तान द्वारा अपने क्षेत्रों पर संप्रभुता का प्रयोग करने से क्रुद्ध है। भारत अफ़गानिस्तान की संप्रभुता, क्षेत्रीय अखंडता और स्वतंत्रता के लिए पूरी तरह प्रतिबद्ध है। Sahil, your question was regarding as to when we are going to establish the embassy. Presently, we have a technical mission in Kabul. This has been in operation since June of 2022. The transition from this technical mission to the embassy will happen in the next few days. Ishi, on your question about recognition, see, we had Foreign Minister Mutaki here. We had detailed conversation. We've given you a readout of all that was discussed, from humanitarian assistance to development cooperation, also the status upgrading of our embassy. We want to do many more things in Afghanistan in the field of health. We also donated on the occasion 20 ambulances. All these things and many more things are going to be talked about in the days ahead as well. And as I told you, that we also now, on the question of when will the technical mission that we have in Kabul will transit into an embassy, on that also I told you that will happen over the next few days. On Myanmar upcoming elections, yes, we are aware of upcoming elections. As to the question of whether we'll be participating or somebody will be going from India or not, I don't have an update on this, but surely we'll come back to you. On ASEAN again, we will make an announcement if and when at an appropriate time as far as our participation in ASEAN is concerned. Sumita, on India-UK FTA, yes, this has been concluded. This was a matter of discussion between the two leaders also. Both sides remain committed to strengthening. You would have seen during the visit of Prime Minister Starmer in Mumbai, the reconstituted UK-India CEOs Forum had a meeting. We also had a meeting of the JETCO, and both sides are upbeat about India-UK FTA that has been concluded, and we look forward to its implementation so that we can reap the benefits, or the people of the two countries can reap the benefits of this free trade agreement. On the WTO matter, look, it is a trade matter, a technical matter. I don't have an update on this, but we will come back to you. क्या बोल रहे हैं? ब्रिटेन के प्रधानमंत्री की यात्रा हुई थी भारत की, ये उनकी पहली ऑफिशियल विजिट रही। मुंबई में आए थे, जैसा आपने देखा होगा, मुंबई में आए थे, वहीं पर उनकी आधिकारिक और बातचीत प्राइम मिनिस्टर के साथ, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री के साथ हुई। दोनों देशों के बीच में ये जो FTA साइनिंग हुआ है, उसके बाद से काफ़ी पॉजिटिव मोमेंटम है रिश्तों में, और बम्बई में ही दोनों तरफ से CEOs फोरम की मीटिंग हुई थी, जिसमें दोनों प्रधानमंत्री ने भाग भी लिया, और साथ ही साथ जो ग्लोबल फिनटेक समिट था, उसमें प्राइम मिनिस्टर स्टारमर विशेष अतिथि के रूप में उन्होंने भाग लिया। हम लोग दोनों तरफ से ये कोशिश है कि जो FTA एग्रीमेंट है दोनों देशों के बीच में, उसको किस प्रकार से कार्यान्वित किया जाए ताकि दोनों देशों के लोगों को इसका लाभ मिले, उपभोक्ताओं को लाभ मिले, जो और भी लोग हैं, यूथ हैं, जो और अन्य समाज है, हमारे समाज के अन्य वर्ग हैं, उनको किस प्रकार से इसका लाभ मिले। लेकिन दोनों तरफ से मैं ये कह सकता हूँ कि काफ़ी उत्सुकता है, काफ़ी पॉजिटिविटी है, सकारात्मकता है FTA को लेके। जहाँ तक WTO का सवाल है, उसमें मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि ये मसला जो है व्यापार को लेके है। व्यापार से संबंधित सारी चीज़ें आपको पता है कि कॉमर्स मिनिस्ट्री के पास उसका डिटेल्स होता है, और उसके पास मेरे पास आपसे अभी साझा करने के लिए इस पर कोई अपडेट नहीं है, लेकिन मैं आपसे ज़रूर इस पर वापस आपको बताऊंगा कि कहाँ पर स्थिति है और क्या मसला है। इधर
So Sridhar here from the Asian Age and Techno Chronicle. The MEA statement that was put out today did not have any outright denial of President Trump's claims. Considering that the Russian president is expected to be here later this year, why has the government not actually denied these claims, startling claims by the US president? Thanks.
Okay, Ajay.
Sir, I refer to the statement which Sridhar is also referring. I am Ajay Banerjee with the Tribune. Sir, your statement say, I quote, the current administration, the US administration has shown interest in deepening energy cooperation with India. Discussions are ongoing. Sir, I seek a clarification. Does buying energy from US means that we are reducing our dependence on Russia?
Shruti?
So thank you, sir. Shruti Rajan from Bloomberg, sir. I also need a clarification, sir. In whatever conversation that US and India have had on the oil and Russia, this thing, has there any commitment been made that they're going to reduce or stop buying Russian oil and move to American sources? Sir?
Okay. You have a related question?
Related. Pranshu Verma, Washington Post. There was a phone call that happened on October 9th between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump. Would there be any possibility in this conversation on October 9th that Prime Minister Modi talked about reducing or outright stopping purchases of Russian oil?
Okay. Rishabh?
So two questions. First, there have been reports in Pakistani media that TLP leader have been arrested, and after his premises was searched, there were Indian currency found there, and many within the establishment in Pakistan are now saying that the whole TLP protest in Islamabad is being backed by India. First, and second, sir, yes, you clarified that there hasn't been any call between the leaders yesterday, but when Mr. Gore was here on his visit, he met Prime Minister. The President also said that he reported to President saying that India has assured via him that energy purchases from Russia will stop. So if you can shed some light on the discussion between Prime Minister and Mr. Gore.
Okay, so most of the questions are regarding what we had already talked about, the energy sourcing. I would again request all of you to look at the statement carefully. What we have had to say, we have already said, and I would urge that you have a look at the statement and all the issues from as far as we are concerned. It is there for you to see how we approach the issue, what we have had to say. On Pranshu, your question on the telephone call of 9th October. Well, the telephone call happened between Prime Minister and President Trump. It was a call where he also congratulated President Trump on the success of the Gaza peace plan, and they also reviewed the progress in trade negotiations, and they also agreed to stay in touch. So this was the readout that was given post the telephone call. So that is where it is. Rishabh, again, on energy sourcing, I would request you to please put out a statement. Since in the morning there were too many questions from all of you, therefore we put out a statement. Otherwise, we would have waited for the press briefing to happen. On your question regarding some of the things that you mentioned about Pakistan, I'll have to come back to you on that. I have to see what exactly happened there. Keshav?
Thank you, sir. Keshav Padmanabhan from The Print. I have two questions on China, actually. One is reports indicating that China has asked for end-user certificates from Indian companies that they wouldn't re-export rare earth magnets to the US or have it be used in dual-use technologies. Is this something that has come up in discussions between the Indian and the Chinese government? Can you shed some light on this? And the addendum to this is that China on the 9th of October came out with new curbs on the exports of rare earth materials. I think they've added 5 more to the list. So can you sort of shed some light where India is sort of talking with China with regards to this, given that Foreign Minister Wang Yi had given an assurance when he was here in August with regards to this. So can you shed some light on the current status of these negotiations?
Okay. Jessica.
This is Jessica Taneja for DD India. So the United Kingdom had announced new sanctions on Nayara Energy, and they said that third countries like China and India are importing Russian oil. They will face increased pressure. How does the MEA see this, and was this discussed during the Prime Minister, which is Prime Minister Keir Starmer's visit to India recently?
Madhu.
सर मधुरेंद्र, मैं न्यूज़ नेशन से। मेरा सवाल अफगानिस्तान पाकिस्तान वॉर को लेकर ही है। पाकिस्तान के रक्षा मंत्री ने सीधे सीधे भारत पे आरोप लगाया है एक इंटरव्यू के दौरान कि भारत जो है वो दरअसल अफगानिस्तान के ज़रिए पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ प्रॉक्सी वॉर लड़ रहा है। तो इस पे भारत का क्या जवाब है? और मेरा इसी से रिलेटेड दूसरा सवाल है कि पाकिस्तान की तरफ से जो फायर खोले गए, ठीक ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के दौरान हमने देखा था कि पाकिस्तान ने बॉर्डर एरिया में जो बसे हुए आम लोग हैं, स्कूल है, धार्मिक स्थल, उसको टारगेट किया था। उसी तरह से अफगानिस्तान की तरफ भी जो आम लोग हैं वो काफ़ी संख्या में हताहत हुए हैं। वहाँ पर भी नागरिक क्षति और ख़ासतौर पे आप देखिए तो ह्यूमैनिटेरियन क्राइसिस जो है वो पाकिस्तान के फायर खोलने से क्रिएट हुआ है। तो क्या उस पर भी भारत कोई रिस्पॉन्स देना चाहेगा?
Please.
Seema Guha from Outlook magazine. I wanted to ask you about the Sri Lankan Prime Minister's visit. Has India stopped talking about the 13th Amendment and devolution? Will that be raised again? Because it's been there for, I don't know, donkey's years, nothing has happened.
Huma.
So I'm Huma Siddiqui from Strat News Global. The Brazilian Vice President is here along with this huge delegation of ministerial as well as business people. So my question is, there have been talks with the ministers, but each minister is saying that MEA will be in a position to tell us how much crude oil are we getting from Brazil at this time. If you can...
Okay. So, Keshav, coming to your question, see, on India is respectful of all its international obligations as far as the various frameworks, arrangements that are in place. As part of that, end-use certification is an important exercise, and wherever it is internationally mandated or required as part of the various arrangements or international platforms that we are part of, these end-user certificates are provided. On the question of rare earths, etc., I would take you to the meeting that happened between the leaders in Tianjin, and there it was specifically mentioned that both leaders underlined the need to proceed from a political and strategic direction to expand bilateral trade and investment ties to reduce trade deficit. We've had conversations with the Chinese side on rare earths, etc., and it is something that is in works. Jessica, a question regarding the latest set of sanctions that have been announced. We have noticed the latest sanctions announced by the UK. As I have said this earlier as well, and possibly most of you are aware of it as well, that we do not subscribe to any unilateral sanctions. Government of India considers the provision of energy security a responsibility of paramount importance to meet the basic needs of its citizens. Indian companies source energy supplies from around the world while taking overall market conditions into account. We would stress that there should be no double standards, especially when it comes to energy trade. मधु, पाकिस्तान के बारे में और किस प्रकार की गतिविधि वहाँ से चलती है और इतने सालों तक उन्होंने किस प्रकार से आतंकवाद को बढ़ावा दिया भारत के खिलाफ, इससे आप भली भांति अवगत हैं। और हम लोग का ये मानना है कि सब लोग मिलकर हम लोग आतंकवाद को, उसके जड़ को, और पाकिस्तान जो आतंकवाद को इतना प्रोत्साहन देता है, इसको ख़त्म करने के लिए उस पर और दबाव बनाया जाना चाहिए। ये हम लोग की जो ग्लोबल कम्युनिटी है, समुदाय है, उनसे भी हमारी चर्चा में इस बात पर जोर दिया जाता है। और जहाँ तक अफ़गानिस्तान पाकिस्तान की बात है, उन्होंने देखा होगा आपने, अभी मैंने अपना वक्तव्य दिया कि क्या चल रहा है उनके बॉर्डर पर, डूरन लाइन पर। वहाँ पर बहुत सारे जो मासूम लोग हैं उनकी जानें गई हैं। ये निंदनीय है। और जैसा कि मैंने कहा कि दोनों देशों के बीच में जो भी वहाँ चल रहा है उस पर हम लोग नज़र बनाए हुए हैं और उस वहाँ के डेवलपमेंट्स को हम फॉलो कर रहे हैं। On Sri Lanka, we have the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka visiting India. She arrived this morning. We had the External Affairs Minister who called on her. Tomorrow she'll be addressing the NDTV World Summit or the conclave. She also visited Hindu College today, which happens to be her alma mater. She had some business meetings as well with FICCI and CIA members. She will also have some other meetings, and during these discussions, all the issues that are relevant to India-Sri Lanka ties will be discussed and taken forward. Sorry. So all issues that are of importance to both sides will be discussed. We'll be giving you more information in that regard as and when the meetings, some of the other meetings that take place. Yes, the Brazilian foreign minister is here. He has, I think today he had several meetings. Yesterday he arrived. The vice president is also in charge of trade and commerce, I understand, and several other portfolios. On oil, yes, India is buying oil from Brazil. As to what quantity and how much, etc., these are. I'm not in a position to tell you exactly, but let me see if I can get these facts for you. I understand that these facts are also available on the website of Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, so you can have a look there. Hi, Yeshi.
You said that.
But
you had mentioned that the embassy in Kabul will be functional in the next couple of days. What about the Afghan embassy in Delhi? Will the Taliban members will be here too? Forgot to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon, Elena TASS News Agency. You just shared with us the details of the telephone conversation between American President and Shri Narendra Modi. And am I right that the topic of these Indian purchases of Russian oil didn't come up during this conversation? And if it's so, does India intend somehow to request some kind of retraction, formal retraction of this claim by President Trump? And if you allow me, plain questions. What is India's stance on purchases of Russian oil in the view of all these claims from the West?
Okay. Dada.
Thank you, sir. I have a question related to India-Bhutan relations, because whether we have any institutional mechanism for sharing hydrological data or flood warning system, and whether the state governments or the stakeholders are a party to it. I am asking the question in the backdrop that recently a part of North Bengal was flooded due to huge water was rushing, flushing flash water came from the Bhutan rivers. So whether we have any mechanism or not, whether we are discussing with Bhutan on this issue? Thank you.
Raghavendra.
This is Raghavendra Verma from ZDF German television. So my question is regarding the Indian student arrested in Ukraine during the Russia war. So is it an isolated incident or more such cases have come to your notice? And regarding the war itself, so are there any efforts being made, international efforts? India is any part somehow to bring those hostilities to an end?
Okay. Ubir?
Sir, this is Ubi Naqshbandi from the Federal. Sir, my question is, since Sri Lankan Prime Minister is in India, will this issue of fishermen be raised with the Sri Lankan Prime Minister? There are these fishing vessels and equipment that continues to be with Sri Lankan authorities.
Agni?
So this is Agni from AVP. Will there be any chance of meeting between Prime Minister of India and US President on the sideline of upcoming ASEAN Summit in Kuala Lumpur?
Mm-hmm. So Yeshi, first your question regarding positioning of diplomats from Afghanistan here. See, this matter is under discussion and we'll inform you once we reach a decision. Elena, on energy sourcing, we have put out a statement. I would request you to please look at our statement for the questions that you've asked. On Gautam, on your questions regarding India-Bhutan institutional frameworks, yes, India-Bhutan relationship is a very special relationship. We have cooperation across several fields, from water to energy to development cooperation, capacity building, a very broad-based and a comprehensive partnership. If there are any issues where we need to cooperate or collaborate, surely this is we do exchange or engage each other. On your specific question, whether hydrological data on this particular issue, whether it was exchanged or not, on that I'll have to come back to you. But as I said, we have very good cooperation across the board in several areas or more than several areas with Bhutan. Rangwen, your question regarding, we had seen some reports about the Indian students or the Indian national. We have gotten in touch with Ukrainian authorities in Kiev for them to verify those reports. We've also been in touch with the Ukrainian embassy here. We are yet to hear from them. On the Ukraine conflict, our position is very well. We stand for peace, and we have welcomed all the peace initiatives that have been initiated in recent times. Ubir, Sri Lankan Prime Minister is here. Yes, we have issues off and on where our fishermen land up in Sri Lanka on the Sri Lankan side, and their fishermen on our side, and we have regular conversation to treat this issue on humanitarian basis, so that, because it's also a question of livelihood, we have had very good cooperation, and we would like to continue. We will continue with this exchanges and this conversation. Agni, on first, let us wait for us to announce the visit. The visit will be announced at the appropriate time, and thereafter we'll update you with what program is there, what are the issues, what are the meetings that will form part of our engagement. But first, please wait for the announcement of our participation in ASEAN Summit. We still have question? Okay, please. Neeraj.
I am Manoj Menon from Madhubhumi. There is a controversy over a Kathakali show in Mumbai during the UK PM's visit. Artists say it was a misrepresentation of a traditional art form, and it was an insult to the traditional artist. They also blame MEA for it. What is your reaction on that?
नीरज
सर नमस्कार, मैं नीरज दुबे प्रभा साक्षी से। सर अगले वर्ष भारत ब्रिक्स की अध्यक्षता संभालेगा, उससे पहले प्रेसिडेंट ट्रंप ने ब्रिक्स को लेकर जो अपना एक वक्तव्य दिया, उस पर विदेश मंत्रालय की क्या प्रतिक्रिया है?
Rishikesh?
सर फॉर्मर होम मिनिस्टर पी चिदम्बरम ने एक इंटरव्यू दिया जिसमें कहा कि 2008 के जो मुंबई हमला हुआ था उसके बाद भारत सरकार ने एक रणनीति बनाई थी कि पाकिस्तान को रिटेलिएट किया जाएगा, पाकिस्तान ने जो आतंकी हमला किया था। फिर आईएफएस, उन्होंने आईएफएस कहा कि आईएफएस और अमेरिका की तरफ का जो दबाव था इसके कारण सरकार को रुकना पड़ा। क्या एमईए के पास इसके बारे में कुछ जानकारी है कि अमेरिकन गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से किसी तरह के दबाव डाले गए थे, और आईएफएस का उन्होंने जब जिक्र किया है तो आखिर वो कौन थे जो उन्होंने रोका?
Okay. Jugal?
Hi sir, I'm Jugal from the Collective Newsroom reporting for the BBC. I'm wondering, sir, if the MEA has a statement on the arrest of Mr. Ashley Tellis. Thank you.
So first, Manoj, coming to your question, see the Prime Minister of UK, he paid an official visit to Mumbai on 8th and 9th of October. He was given a warm welcome in the city. As part of the cultural welcome, Kathakali performance was also organized. We have seen some comments from artists and cultural organizations. Their views naturally have been noted and will be respected. नीरज ऑन ब्रिक्स, ब्रिक्स की अध्यक्षता हमारे पास है, आएगी 2026 में। पहले भी हम 2016 में ब्रिक्स की अध्यक्षता यहाँ पर किया था हम लोगों ने, और ब्रिक्स जो है कई एक देश हैं इस समूह में कई एक देश हैं, और जो ब्रिक्स के जितने मेम्बरान हैं, और हाल ही में आपको पता है कि जोहानिसबर्ग में और नए मेंबर्स इसमें जुड़े थे, और कुछ पार्टनर कंट्रीज़ कजान में भी जुड़े थे। इन सभी मेंबर के बीच में सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट, सतत विकास, आर्थिक मुद्दे और इन सब बहुत सारी जो चीज़ें हैं उस पर बातचीत होती है, और आने वाले दिनों में भी हम लोग चाहेंगे कि इन मुद्दे पर जो भूगोलिक है एक तरीके से, इस पर किस प्रकार से हम लोग काम करें ताकि दोनों इन सभी देशों के बीच में तालमेल बढ़े और हम लोग अपने विकास को, अपने अपने देशों के विकास को और भौगोलिक मुद्दे पर भी बातचीत करके स्थिति को बेहतर कर सकते हैं। ऋषिकेश, आपके सवाल के लिए मेरे पास जानकारी नहीं है, तो देखता हूँ मैं किस प्रकार से आपको मैं सेटिस्फाई कर पाऊँ। Jugal, on your question, we have no comments to offer. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the close of this press conference. Thank you.